the slave, the native son, whose loyal families labor still, that we may live as one. America, America, renew thy founders' call. Let liberty and justice be the right of one and all. Oh, bountiful of forest green, of lake and fertile lands, where seeds of hope are tended by thy sons and daughters' hands. America, America, the earth still calls to thee, where human life and nature strive to live in harmony. Okay, here's the fourth verse, let's do it. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, forever waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Hello, I'm Molly and Dana, Tribal Ambassador for the Penobscot Nation.
And I'm Bro Adams, former chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities.
We are honored that you are joining us for Rising Together, Maine Votes, the launch event for the Maine Arts for Biden-Harris initiative.
We want to begin this program by acknowledging that we live in the ancestral homeland of the Wabanaki people, who have inhabited this state, this great state of Maine, for thousands of years. We honor the long history that they've had in this place, and we also honor the generations that are still to come. We also recognize the painful legacies of colonialism, and we express our commitment to building stronger relationships with the Wabanaki people in the future.
The arts play an essential role in the cultural fabric of our state. Maine has a long and brilliant history of storytelling, painting, basket making, dance, sculpture, poetry, and filmmaking. Art is a key ingredient in our sense of place.
In the program that follows, you'll hear from a diverse group of artists working across the state in a variety of art forms. You'll hear about their work, but you'll also hear why they think this presidential election is so important.
And that's why we've come together to urge all Mainers to vote on November 3rd. Wherever you live in Maine and whatever you do, this election will have enormous consequences for you and for the future of our state. Please help us get out the vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Joe Biden said recently, "The future, who we are, lies in the arts. It's the expression of our soul." He's right. And that's why we need Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to prevail in this election. We need national leadership that will nourish the arts and recognize their vital role in our lives.
We do not have that leadership now. In every year of his administration, Donald Trump has tried to eliminate funding for for the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities. Congress has so far kept him from succeeding, but we must ensure that these efforts come to an end.
Of course, there's more at stake in this election than the arts. Healthcare, climate change, social and racial justice, and education are also on the ballot. And we need national leadership that attempts to unite, not to divide us.
So thank you for joining us. We hope that you will be inspired by the passionate and talented Mainers you are about to meet. Please join them and us in getting out the vote on November 3rd.
Hi, I'm Viva, and I'm voting because voting is the safest and surest way to fight against fascism. It matters so much to vote, and in this state, we can do it without barriers and without fear and without intimidation. And in this election, my life depends on it. The lives of people who look like me depend on it. The futures of people who look like me are uncertain unless we come together and vote in this election for our survival, to declare our choice in the battleground against social injustice, environmental disaster, and ethnic cleansing. It is our responsibility to vote, and it's a responsibility we can fulfill easily in the state of Maine. And we can look at each other and be proud of the stance we took in 2020. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce the Sintu Multicultural Chorus, representing over 22 countries and the future of Maine leadership and art.
We have thundered out, we have said it loud, what now? From a single voice to the greatest crowd, what now? With our arms wide open, time for a change. Every drop in the ocean, time for a change. Make a resolution,
Hey guys, it's Griffin from the Ghost of Paul Revere. Thank you so much for having us at this event. I think we can all say easily that this is one of the most important voting years that we've seen in many years, certainly since I started voting. And everyone needs to go and do their American duty, go out and vote because we need some real change. This is an opportunity for us to really affect how people are treated across the entire country from coast to coast. And there are some people who really need a voice right now. And we have an opportunity to help them just by casting a vote in the right direction. So I'm very excited to head to the polls this year in November, and I hope you are too. We wanted to play a song that's about Maine history and also about a group of gentlemen who fought for people's rights way back in 1863. It's a song called The Ballad of the 20th Maine.
My name is Andrew Tozier. I'm a child of Litchfield, Maine, and I left my only family for the sea, the salt and rain. And when Lincoln called the banners in 1861, well, I joined the Union Army for the land that I am from. We were baptized by fire in the Battle of Bull Run, and we fought our Southern brothers in the wind, the snow, and sun. And when our time was over, I heard the governor say, "Keep fighting for the Union for just another day." So we joined the line of voting, Chamberlain his name, and we marched once more towards battle as the 20th of Maine. And if we should die today, then dream a dream of heaven. Take your northern hearts with you to the grave. Be proud and true, you are a Union soldier. Stand fast, ye are the boys of Maine. Well, our western flank, it was missing as the Confederates, they pressed on. And I fought them tooth and nail, my ammunition all but gone. And alone I stood with colors, I was flying proud and true, for to let my northern brothers know the battle was not through. And then appeared our lion, he
Hi, I'm Cherie Scott, creator and founder of Mumbai to Maine, Maine's first culinary-inspired Indian brand. I'm also a proud citizen of the United States of America and a really proud resident of this beautiful state of Maine. Over 2 decades ago, I left India, the largest democracy in the world, and I moved to the United States of America, where I received alien status. I'll never forget how that made me feel, how it impacted my life, my productivity, my creativity, and my future. It took me 17 years to change my status from alien to citizen, but I'll never forget how I felt the day I became a citizen. I remember walking out of there feeling like I finally mattered to this country and that I had a voice and I had the power to now use that voice. And I felt empowered to speak out on issues that were near and dear to my heart, my family, and the future of my community. And it was all because of that one single act of being able to vote. Each one of us are uniquely positioned to make a difference, to stand up for things we believe in, and especially for things we don't believe in, and to be a part of something that's so much bigger than all of us. I dream about raising my children in a nation that celebrates the differences in all of us. You see, diversity fosters new ideas and deep, meaningful, thoughtful conversations, and it brings us together in community to help problem solve and innovate. There is so much work to be done still. And by voting for diversity, we are building bridges that bring cultures together, not walls. And so this election, I plan to vote like my life depends on it.
Hi, my name is Brittany Parker, and I make theater and music for family audiences here in Maine. One of the most important parts of performing, whether it's in a play or a musical or a puppet show, is learning how to walk in someone else's shoes. We tell other people's stories from their points of view. It's all about empathy, and that's something that I feel we are desperately missing in our country today. So that's why I'm voting this year, and I sincerely hope that you'll join me.
Hey, Brittany!
Oh, hey, it's Casey the Caterpillar. I was just telling all the folks at home about how important it is to vote this year. Are you voting?
Of course. Already registered for my absentee ballot. And I'm going to mail it back in a timely fashion.
That sounds great. Don't forget your stamp.
I won't.
Hey, Brittany.
Oh, hey, Sprinkles the spider. We were just talking about our voting plans.
Oh, I've got that all figured out. Early voting, right at my town office. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Hi, Brittany.
Oh, it's Bryn the butterfly. Hi, Bryn. We were just telling everyone at home about our voting plans for this year.
I've got one too. I'm flying over to my polling place on election day with my mask. Can't wait.
That sounds perfect. Well, the whole gang is here. Should we do a song?
Oh, yes,
Okay, I'll go get my ukulele.
Oh, I love the ukulele.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a song that I play with my band. We're called Bee Parks and the Hornets, and we sing songs from an insect point of view. Everybody ready? Here we go. I don't care if things aren't perfect. I don't care if the sky's not blue. I don't care if you're an insect. I just care about you. Here inside our hive is the love we grew. Here inside our hearts is where it breathes. Here inside ourselves we can keep it true. And that's what it means to be a bee. Okay, now repeat after me. All we need is to help each other. All we need is to help each other. To live and breathe clean, fresh air. Live and breathe clean, fresh air. All we need that we care. We care. We care. Here inside our hive is the love we grew. Here inside our hearts is where it breathes. Here inside ourselves, we can keep it true. And that's what it means to be a bee. To be a bee. Thank you so much, everyone.
And don't forget to vote.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Novelist and screenwriter Richard Russo here. Why vote this year? Well, there are a few things hanging in the balance, right? Like healthcare, a woman's right to choose, a pandemic that is still raging out of control, our cratered economy, any hope for racial justice, and oh yeah, the democracy itself. The good news is we can do this. Nobody's asking us to storm a beach in Normandy. Voting is not a heavy lift, just a necessary one. We need to do it safely, by mail or in person, but we need to do it. It's our job, not somebody else's. Maine is my home. It's also where my daughters and their families live. This election is about them. It's about people that we know and love. But it's also about people we don't know at all. People who, like ourselves, deserve a chance to grow and prosper. Let's make this election a gift to them and to ourselves. Thank you, and please, please vote.
Hi, I'm Teresa Secord, a traditional Penobscot basket maker. I'm here to help impress upon you how very important the arts are to Maine and how crucial it is to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. In the past 4 years, the threats to Maine's oldest art form, ash and sweetgrass basketry, practiced by the Wabanaki tribes, have been ominous. For more than 25 years, basket makers from the Passamaquoddy, Penobscot, Maliseet, and Micmac tribes have worked together to save our own endangered art form, and did. We brought forward a new generation of basket makers, young, successful, nationally recognized artists who live and work in Maine, choosing to contribute to our economy and culture. Yet the current administration has annually tried to abolish the very support systems that cultivate many longstanding artistic practices in this nation, steadfast allies that bring the arts to all, like the National Endowment for the Arts. The current administration's climate change deniers threaten the good efforts of tribal, state, and federal foresters working hard to save the ash trees from the invasive emerald ash borer beetle in Maine. These sacred trees are also the origin of Wabanaki creation, the basket tree, from where we source our ancestral weaving materials. It's said that Gluskabe, our culture hero, shot an arrow into the ash tree, and from the tree came the first people, the people of the dawn, the Wabanaki. The artists in this video and throughout Maine bring their own and our collective shared contemporary and traditional cultural practices as community values, values that make us so unique and strong as a state and a nation. As a Penobscot, I'm charged with asking myself, how can I be a good ancestor? What can we do to ensure that future generations see our efforts as valid, honorable, and respectful in these times of turmoil? I can be a good ancestor by voting along Democratic Party lines and for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as the next president and vice president of the United States, to protect all of our shared artistic legacies as Maine people. And I hope you will too. Willie one.
My name is Amelia Dallin. I'm coming to you from Portland, Maine, and I wrote this song a few years ago after travels to El Salvador, a country that had been ravaged by civil war and natural disasters. And I met so many people at that time who had been working in the States at one point or had family working here to try and support family at home after really hard times. And I was struck by the fact that I could have been born anywhere, and the country, but not only the country, the state, the town, the house, the street that you grow up on can determine so much about the struggles or the privileges that you'll have in your life. And some of these folks had to make decisions that I hope that I'll never have to make in my lifetime. What is missing from this song is a verse about the resiliency and strength of a lot of these people as well. And I believe that immigrants make our country and our economy stronger. This is called Sad Affair. Maria, her youngest, only 2, exhausted all her options, there was nothing she could do. When she left, she said, "Be good and please don't cry." Tears welled in her eyes, and she said, "Remember, Mama loves you. Brush your teeth and study hard. I am off to make us a better life. Even if we must be apart, we must be apart." All quiet and still, coyotes cross the border in the early morning chill. Bodies pressed tightly in the back, while hope was taking over her fear. Now the world has served her a sober pill, and does so every day. And somewhere, in some home she's made perfection, while her own life is dwindling away, is dwindling away. Oh, 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 oh. It's a sad, sad affair when latitude and longitude hold you in despair. Oh, it's a sad affair when the grief you're breathing daily is so much thicker than the air. So honest and strong, took a job that promised more, not sensing what was wrong. Taken far away, his heart fell as his fate came clear into view. Now his back is bent from the weight of earth that carries every day. And somewhere, someone with golden fingers will exclaim, "How lovely and so nice, how lovely and so nice." Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, it's a sad, sad affair when latitude and longitude hold you in despair. Oh, it's a sad affair when the grief you're breathing daily is so much thicker than the air. Oh, it's a sad affair when latitude and longitude hold you in despair. Oh, it's a sad affair when the grief you're breathing daily is so much thicker than the air. Yeah. Please join me in voting on November 3rd, 2020. When we don't vote, we lose the opportunity to weigh on the issues that affect us personally. We've seen close elections before. I believe that every vote matters. Your vote matters.
Hi, I'm Richard Blanco, 2013 presidential inaugural poet for Barack Obama. I'd like to share this poem with you, which was inspired by the enduring words of the Declaration of Independence, but recast as a declaration of interdependence to assert our common humanity, mend our discord through compassion and empathy, and regain some measure of unity for these united states. That's why I'm voting. That's why I'm voting for Biden. Declaration of Interdependence. Such has been the patient sufferance. We are a mother's bread, instant potatoes, milk at a checkout line, where her 3 children pleading for bubblegum and their father, where the 3 minutes she steals to page through a tabloid, needing to believe even stars' lives are as joyful as bruised. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. Where her second job, serving an executive absorbed in his Wall Street Journal at a sidewalk cafe, shadowed by skyscrapers, where the shadows of the fortune he won and the family he lost, where his loss and the lost, where a father in a coal town who can't mind a life anymore because too much and too little has happened for far too long. A history of repeated injuries and usurpations, where the grid of his main streets blacked out windows and graffitied truths, where a street in another town lined with royal palms, at home with a Peace Corps couple who collect African art, where their dinner party talk of wines, wilted picket signs, and burned draft cards, where what they know. It's time to do more than read the New York Times, buy fair trade coffee and organic corn. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress. Where the farmer who grew that corn, who plows into his couch as worn as his back by the end of the day, where his TV set blaring news having everything, having nothing to do with the field dust in his eyes, or his son nested in the ache of his arms. Where his son, where a black teenager who drove too fast or too slow, talked too much or too little, moved too quickly but not quick enough. Where the blast of the bullet leaving the gun, where the guilt and the grief of the cop who wished he hadn't shot. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We're the dead, we're the living, amid the flicker of vigil candlelight. We're in a dim cell with an inmate reading Dostoevsky, where his crime, his sentence, his amends, we're the mending of ourselves and others. We're a Buddhist serving soup at a shelter along with stockbroker. We're each other's shelter and hope. A widow's 50 cents in a collection plate and a golfer's $10,000 pledge for the cure. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We're the cure for the hatred caused by our despair. We're the good morning of a bus driver who remembers our name, the tattooed man who gives up his seat on the subway. We're every door held open with a smile when we look into each other's eyes, the way we behold the moon. We are the moon. We are the promise of one people, one breath, declaring to one another, I see you, I need you, I am you.
I can't breathe with your knee on my neck. I can't breathe. No, I never forged that check. I know it's 'cause the color of my skin. I can't breathe, so how could I ever win? I can't breathe. That's what George Floyd said. I can't breathe. Eric Garner while he bled. We say the names aloud as we mourn in these crowds. I can't breathe, not right now. We can't breathe, we can't breathe, we can't breathe, not right now. like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Hi, my name is Kaya Mack. I'm a musician and singer here on the Seacoast, and I'm 18. And if you are my age, you need to go vote. There's so much hate that has been brought into our country these past 4 years, and we need to make our impact and make our voices heard. So please vote. Thank you.
I'm voting for tribal sovereignty.
I'm voting for justice.
I'm voting for empathy.
I'm voting for diversity.
I'm voting to be a good ancestor for future generations.
I'm voting for climate justice.
I'm voting for the arts and humanities.
I'm voting to heal our country.
I'm voting for equal rights for everyone.
I'm voting for a chance at a future. I'm voting for Joe Biden.
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 I'm voting for Joe Biden.